Hey everyone, Kendra and Becky here. We're so excited to have you here with us on our new YouTube channel and community Market Mamas. Our goal is to share with you all the experiences and many lessons we're growing through since becoming day traders. We want to bring you great content, and it's going to be primarily focused on trading psychology.
Yes, we welcome all viewers, both fellow traders, but also anyone who's trying something really challenging in their life in whatever your power pursuit is. Please come along with us on our journey and let's support and take care of each other. Thank you so much for being here with us. We hope you enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Market Mamas. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, we're really excited to be here with you guys. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that's pretty critical to trading the stock market successfully: discipline.
Totally. I can't wait to get into this and discuss how challenging discipline can be for us. It has been and continues to be, honestly.
Yes. We're going to talk about it very openly and honestly with you guys and kind of just get it out there. So we definitely have a love-hate relationship with discipline because it's both pivotal in sustaining our trading careers, but also a struggle to hold on to. So let's do this.
Yes, the struggle is real. Our aim is to normalize it because it's something that you're warned about early on in trading, but you don't fully understand it until you really get into the peaks and valleys of your own trading journey. No one is immune to it. It does not discriminate. And interestingly enough, you need to have develop even bigger discipline, more discipline, the better you get. And so every day you'll learn is a fresh and new chance to either honor your discipline or potentially self-sabotage yourself.
Yeah. I think we both were learning how to trade. We were under the assumption that if you learn how to trade the market, if you learn how it moved, reasons to get in and out of a trade, where the market might go and why, that learning that edge in trading was how you are successful. We thought that once we got that dialed in, we would have a successful equity curve and regular profitability. However, I think there comes a time when each trader realizes that your skills open the door to the full potential of the market, but then you have to learn, then you really start learning about yourself and things that you didn't even know you had inside of you. You learn the different things that really impact your discipline, such as your emotions, your psychology, your fears, your impulses. These all can impede your journey and make it kind of tricky. So once you learn how to trade, then when those psychological challenges really surface, that's when you have to learn to navigate them. And the bulk of the hardest work, I think, in trading really begins.
Right. Psychology becomes the biggest hurdle and the most critical factor. You'll start to realize things like an inability to perhaps follow your data or be patient. That can result in entering a trade too soon, too early, or exiting a trade even before your intended target. It can be so painful when that happens to see it play out without you, and then you start to realize having a perfect setup, it's really only part of the equation, but really allowing yourself in that moment to take full advantage of that opportunity. That's how real winning is done. So a trading journal can really help you reveal like all these different policies. And more often than not, it's connected to your emotions. And so mastering your emotions, controlling them, being able to walk away when you need to. And that could be whether or not maybe you're having a great morning, had a good trading session and you're starting to feel some of that greed, maybe come up and you want to keep going, you're on fire. Well, usually that's when you probably need to just chill, walk away, be content. And then on the opposite side, it could be when you're just not nailing it. You're not having a good day. You're trading poorly. You're in your emotions too much. You're forcing things. And you most definitely need to walk away at that point because you can easily enter what fix it mode is one of the terms we've called it, which can turn into another 4-letter word mode. And then that can just really, really sabotage you, and you need to walk away during those times. But these are the things that you learn along the way, and it takes time to learn how to discriminate between those different occurrences and to ultimately cultivate that type of discipline that you really need to support yourself day in and day out, so you don't wind up in a trading trance and you can maintain your discipline.
Oh, definitely. Totally. I think the market will seriously humble you because you can think that you're doing things right and be confident, and then the market is just going to move how it will, and you may take losses. So it's a natural part of learning to trade, but it can be really hard, and it will elicit all sorts of responses. You know, like you mentioned, tilting, chasing, fear of missing out, impulsive entries, revenge trading if you have a losing trade, greed if you take profits, but then you want more as you watch the move continue. You chase, you give it all back. There's so many multiple risky behaviors that discipline and psychology like really play into, and no one is immune to. You have to figure out which ones are your tendency, hopefully earlier in your career, because then you can start like targeting them and managing them. We all know this from experience. Certainly, Kendra and I do. You come to a trading day with the best intentions, a trade plan with a clear idea of the levels you want to trade at and why. And then the market doesn't do exactly as you planned, and the trade goes against you. So here you can like slide into those negative habits, those unhealthy habits so easily, and it can like really spiral if you don't catch yourself in real time. So learning to catch yourself in those moments is like so huge. Speaking of that, like many of us have probably heard that Jim Rohn quote that like really resonates with this. It's, we must all suffer from one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is that discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. So that like says it all. On the days that you accept a small loss, you walk away and you're frustrated, but you like take deep breaths, you do something else, you get outside, and then you come back with a clear head. In that situation, your loss remains small. Maybe then you can see a great trade and you can turn the day around. However, if you take a small loss and you're frustrated, you're upset, why didn't the market do what you wanted? You stay at your screen. Now it's definitely going to do what you wanted. So then you get back in, you double your loss, you go in heavier when you didn't even intend to take another trade. It just happens. You can slide down that slippery slope so fast. And then on the end of those days, like I can definitely speak from my own experience that regret is really substantial. So we've been there.
It's not easy. Yeah, we most definitely have. And I think we refer to those days as another brick in the foundation because it is so heavy. And it's like, well, what's done is done. All I can do is accept the outcome and trust that I'll be stronger for it. But lessons learned, definitely. We really want to behave like winners, right? And so having that ultimate winning mindset requires your behaviors to match your intention, which is the hardest thing. I mean, we never intend to come into the market and overtrade or not be able to maintain our discipline or get in our emotions. But it's just overcoming those bad habits and calling them out for what they are, understanding that if any given day, you know, we're just one choice away from a huge setback that could potentially affect our psychology. It can affect our confidence. And that's the arena we step into every day we choose to participate. You know, taking a punch and being able to move forward. However, being brutally honest with yourself when you evaluate your performance. That's the goal. And to be sustainable every day, to keep that mindset, that's the only way we could really reach consistency.
Oh my gosh, yes. I think there's an element of trader maturity with that we all have to reach. And it's different for everyone how long it takes. But you have to go through that phase of realizing what your disciplinary struggles are and then acknowledging them out in the open so that you can target them like with purposeful choices that can really turn it around. Whatever that looks like for you, like whoever you need to talk to, whatever you need to implement in your hard rules, how you might want to like upgrade your self-talk in the in-between time that could really help. There's so many ways to target improvements in your worst habits once you honestly call them out. Like if you just ignore them forever and don't acknowledge your shortcomings, it's very hard to move past them. I think in order to get consistent profitability, we have to figure out what we need to do to have trader maturity, to stay humble, to be appreciative and full of gratitude, and kind of just let it come with time, to be able to have those like F it days and know that like you're going to get up and do it again and choose to learn from that instead of like bury it, forget it happened, and just hope that you do better. Like call it out, like let it teach you and still believe in yourself. It's harder than it sounds, but it's worth it.
And starting an accountability partnership like Becky and I formed very early on in our trading, that really helped us to foster that drive to want to master discipline. it's one thing to let yourself down, but it's another thing when you're reporting back to someone else. You're like, you feel like you're letting them down too. So it really helps to have that safe place. And it's one of the reasons why we decided to start Market Mamas. We want to have those open discussions about the struggles of day trading so we can, offer that safe space here to just normalize the work, the amount of work it takes to work through these things and to support other traders.
Yeah, I think it's so important to be able to see that in real time, it's okay to take a loss. And I think we've been able to support each other in that. And we both regularly try to embody in our trading journey progress over perfection. Thinking that every day can be perfect is just not accurate. It's not realistic. It's not a healthy way to try and be, because then there's just too much disappointment on the hard days. Like, it causes a bigger roller coaster of it all. So instead, to try and recognize that this has to be a journey, that there's so much to learn, that the market is going to teach you. When the market humbles you, you have to be able to take the lessons as they come, and maybe even take them multiple times until you feel like you really understand what you're trying to see and what maybe you're missing, and then how to transition and evolve your plan from that data. Within that process, it's important to also kind of give yourself grace and recognize that you are progressing, even on the red days. Like, lesson days are still progress, right? You're learning. Whether or not you grew your account balance is less of a factor, and it needs to have less importance placed on it, especially early in your trading career, right? Instead, recognize the bigger picture in your first months to years, that it's about continually soaking up the information, feeling how the market moves, and starting to get better at moving with her. Like, the serious progress, that's what gives you the compounding potential, is when you can really just be more relaxed and figure it out instead of push at it. Like, that's what a good, healthy journey can look like. And to strive for perfection is not really that.
Right. I mean, that's next level discipline right there. Not being so trigger happy, not needing to execute right in that moment, being able to fully trust the market is abundant. If there's an opportunity, then that's going to be your trade. But you can't force it. You can't force it in the time that's convenient for you. We have been burned so many times, coming in ready, like, I have this hour and then I have to go do this and that. So I need this trade to play out now. I'm ready to trade now. So I need the market to move for me now. And that having that expectation it can kill you. And more often than not, if you come in with that, you will get burned. And then maybe an hour and a half later, when you're not on the charts, that trade played out perfectly. It just wasn't your time. And so those are like the hard days, to just accept that you can't force yourself on the market. She's in charge. She's always right. And you're just trying to get a ticket, at the right time when she leaves the station. So you definitely don't want to get married to that. You don't want to get married to that trade expectation, because again, you'll end up forcing your plan. And it's usually when conditions are not optimal for your edge. So recognizing this happens to the best of us. The most important thing is to catch those performance flaws before you act, hopefully in real time. But if not, it's okay. Mistakes happen. You kind of just got to reset yourself and pause, and then just decide, all right, the next best thing I can do is to just make sure that my next trade is my best setup, that I'm only going to execute once I have everything in alignment, once my data is supporting. And that'll kind of be the defining moment between, that pivot, from jumping in too early and then trading, expectation versus, all right, let me sit back and let the market prove to me that I have a real opportunity now.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Like, that's how we're striving to trade. And I mean, Kendra and I are talking to you guys from this Market Mamas because we're still working through all of these things. Like, we have been traders for 2.5, almost getting close to 3 years now, honestly. And we're coming along. Like, we're getting better about identifying our edge and when our edge is present and when we should trade, when we shouldn't. But I think to say that we're past all these discipline things and we're speaking from experience because we no longer do this is inaccurate. Like, we're still pushing, we're still growing, we're still evolving. And that's kind of like, this is how I want to talk to you guys, is like, we're works in progress too, and maybe you are, and we're all amazing. So let's like talk it out. Let's be there for each other. Let's kick around our experiences and what we feel like we're really excited about and what we mastered and what we're proud of ourselves on and what our shortcomings still are and where we're pushing. Because Kendra and I, we plan to be like fully authentic with you guys and be like, this, I thought I had this nailed in and I struggle with it again this week, like let's talk it out of like what I could have, should have, would have done better and do better next time. So, I mean, we're like super glad you guys are here with us. Like,
I mean, this is hard work. And as Becky said, we're trying to come at you the most authentic as we can because we know how hard it is. And we know it's not just hard for us. We know it's hard for all traders out there.
mm-hmm.
So yes, please, give us your feedback. Let us know how you, struggle with discipline, how you overcome all these challenges. And thanks again for joining us today.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Please hit subscribe. Please hit notifications. And we'll be back. We're actually going to continue the discussion because we really can't talk discipline enough.
Great.
You guys. Bye.